one of the coolest devices here under Max for Live Essentials is a MIDI sequencer called Instant House. Okay, here it is. Now, this is a MIDI effect. I put it on a MIDI track. Let's delete the other ones. And this one needs an instrument after it. It was intended to work with a drum rack. So let me go load a drum rack here. I have a house drum rack from the Ableton store. Let me load this drum rack. So I'm going to load the drum rack after this instant house. And you don't need to do anything besides hitting spacebar. And immediately it's going to give you some grooves. And it has a bunch of house grooves. It even have a bunch of breaks grooves right here. You just got to choose whatever sounds you want to play. Here's the drum rack. We have 4 different sequencers. Let's turn these ones off. Here's the kick. It's sending its pattern. It's sending to C1. That's where our kick is at. So if I just hit spacebar, it starts playing it. And then I can start changing the patterns. Let's add a snare. Right, hi-hats. If we take it up to a high pattern, it's also adding the open hats. Here's the percussion. So the percussion, for some reason, is triggering really high. So let's change it to E1. Nice. And you can randomize everything. You can add swing. You can change it to breaks. You can add presets. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Love it. I loved it so much that I took it. I opened it up, because any Max for Live device you can open up. I'm not a hacker. I'm not a programmer. I'm a hobbyist, right? I'm not, but I was never a hacker or a programmer. I just kind of like, you know, I'm tinkering with stuff. So I opened it up. You can open up any Max for Live device. And I took it. I did some changes to the patterns. The patterns, I looked into the device, tried to search where does it keep the patterns of the rhythms. It's basically just numbers, what turns out to be, just numbers. I changed them. Okay, here you can open up the device, and then you can start just hacking yourself, modding it, do whatever you want, learn from it. Absolutely amazing. Incredible. So I took it, and we had at school a student, Simi, if anyone's into Afro-beat. Simi came from Nigeria. She's a humongous artist in Nigeria. And her and another fella from Congo, we had a few students from Africa last year. Here, this Simi. She graduated like a year ago. She got me so into Afrobeat. I got so, fell in love with Afrobeat, I made Instant Afro. So essentially, I just took this and I modded it to this. And it looks a tiny bit different, and it has all the different patterns for Afrobeat. So I will have to load a different drum rack for this. Let's load an empty drum rack. Let's load some of our own samples. Now, to download this, you can go just on beatlabacademy.com, and you can search for it. It's all on our blog. We have a bunch of exclusive Max for Live things like Instant Sampler, an MPC pad cycler, track numbers, a bunch of custom ones.
I think
so
Auto-Tune is another big one that you were able to come up with. That people
oh, the Auto-Tune, it's not, again, it's all, that was a mod as well. That's officially from Cycling. We just modded it to be more user-friendly. But thank you. Yes, Instant Afro. You just search for it, and you'll find it in our blog. You can download it for free directly from the blog, beatlabacademy.com. Okay? So that's for free. And now this works on the same way. We just have to load a few samples here. Where can I find some good samples? I think, let's try here. Okay. Percussion. No? Here we go. One shots, percussion. This one can be good. Let's take this one as our main. All right, so you got to think of it more as kind of a reggaeton, Afrobeat, dancehall, where it's mostly percussion. There's not a lot of main snares. You can then layer another main snare on top if you want. Let's try this. Okay, nice. So we have it loaded up. I'm just going to hit play. Right, now we can change the patterns. But again, these patterns are more for reggaeton, dancehall, Afrobeat, all those. all those vibes. So this is Instant Afro. Very cool stuff. I just want to show you kind of it was inspired by the Instant House, which you can also get directly from Ableton with Max for Live Essentials. Another amazing, and I would say often overlooked, especially considering its power, is the mono sequencer. It's another sequencer that is so powerful, it's crazy. So it's another MIDI effect, MIDI sequencer, meaning it doesn't need an instrument. Excuse me, after. So let's load an instrument. Let's go load wavetable. Nice. Let me mute the drums. Okay, now this also doesn't need a MIDI clip. You just hit spacebar, it plays. Okay, so first of all, let's set up our sound a tiny bit, just a basic sound here. Let's make it monophonic. Let's make it a square wave, and I'll filter it out a tiny bit. Okay, that's fine for now. Let's add a tiny bit of analog drive. Turn it down from here. Okay, nice. So here is the mono sequencer. We have a few different tabs here that allow us to change a few parameters. So first we have the pitch. So what's cool about this is that we can just select a scale here. Let's say G minor. And then I'm going to turn on edit to. And then whatever note I choose, it's going to be in the G minor scale. And it even shows me the Roman numeral, which I love. We can even randomize, right? Percentage of randomization. And we can decide how long is just the pitch sequence. Okay, how long is this? Here on the bottom, we can decide which one is active, which step. And right now, it does always continue from the last place it stopped. It doesn't reset itself. So let's turn transport to sync. Okay. Nice. Here we have velocity tab, so we can adjust velocity, but it won't make sense. It won't do anything if we don't map in our synthesizer the velocity to something. So let's go to the MIDI tab. I'm going to map the velocity to our filter frequency. Here's velocity. Let's cancel it from the volume. Nice. Let's go under octave. This sequencer, we can even make shorter. You see how they're all different lengths? I love it. Okay, nice. Let's go, here's the duration. Duration will make sense if we add some glide. So let's go here, add some glide. Nice. And repetition, we can just do some note repetition. Might be too fast here. Which one can we repeat? Let's try this. Right, and each one of them we can randomize. So let's go back to the pitch. We can find something better, I feel like. And maybe we'll even map velocity to our position, our oscillator one position a tiny bit. Let's add some unison randomization of the notes here. Very quickly, I'll add maybe another Max for Live device that I'm just going to show you because there's no time. But this potential for sound design with this device is incredible. You can download it for free as its own pack, convolution reverb. It's its own pack. You just go under packs and you search under available packs, convolution reverb. Here is just a reverb, but you can actually just take the early reflection here and use it as just a kind of a tone generator, kind of a tone control, not generator, just a control. Right, and go through a bunch of them. That's pretty cool. Let's add some sidechain. I'm just gonna, because it's house, I'm just gonna add sidechain with the auto pan. Let's set it up for sidechain. If we take the phase all the way down, it's not gonna be panning anymore, it's just volume. Reverse it, do a square, something like that. Maybe not too much. Okay, anyway, mono sequencer is incredible. Take 10 minutes, play with it. 10 minutes. Some amazing stuff coming out. If it's just kind of riffs and sequences for melodic stuff or bass lines, or even drums might be interesting if you have a drum rack that is completely full with samples. Might be interesting to do some stuff. But mono sequencer, extremely overlooked.